the heroes gone. When the world needs a champion against the forces of darkness, who will answer the call?
I'll have whatever he's having.
From Warner Brothers Pictures,
Mystery Inc. reunites.
Scooby and his crew are back on the case.
Run! Like I'm trying, buddy.
And now, on an island of mystery,
Welcome to Spooky Island.
they have
Monster! A monster?
no clue.
We're here to solve a mystery.
Rory. I got bad feeling about this.
Creatures are taking over the world? That is so mean.
Scooby-Doo! Where are you? Get up, get up, get up! Raggy! Scooby-Doo!
This year,
Who's your best buddy? Raggy. That's right. And who's my best buddy in the whole wide world? Ruby-Doo.
many heroes stand tall,
Now who's the damsel in distress? Me? Straight up.
but only one stands on all fours.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Scooby-Doo.
No one is stupid enough to believe that.
Who's the ugly old broad?
Alright, hey guys, it's Chris,
And I'm Jack.
and we watched a movie.
Again.
We decided to watch Scooby Doo, the 2002 kids movie. Should be kids movie, I guess.
Teenage movie.
Teenage movie.
Young adult film.
Failed MTV movie.
Hilarious.
We watched the second worst Scooby Doo movie. Oh god.
Now, it's not as good as Zombie Island. Objectively.
Yes, it's objectively not as good as Zombie Island. I can objectively say it stole a few things from Zombie Island.
Is it redeemable in some ways? Not really. That's what makes it so much fun. This movie is so stupid.
This movie's ridiculous. It's bad, and it's gonna be extremely fun to talk about.
I swear the first, 40 minutes are fine.
Yeah.
The second half, just terrible. I don't think we have to give a synopsis of this. It's a Scooby-Doo movie.
No, exactly. Well, dude, it's like the last one. It's like, you know Scooby-Doo or you don't know Scooby-Doo. If you know Scooby-Doo, you're listening to this.
Right. That the gang have a mystery to solve, and they solve it.
The end.
The end. Synopsis done.
Alright, guys, so this is Chris.
Jack.
So,
Wait, what are we doing?
where are we?
What is all of this?
We're at least halfway
What
through.
does it all mean, Chris?
So the movie starts off. The movie starts off with a classic gang mystery. They're in a factory or whatever with some sort of dolls or whatever, and there's this Luna ghost bouncing around, and they got a trap set up. But the trap falls apart. Velma...
Naturally, because they're all incompetent.
They're all incredibly incompetent. It's weird to have Velma be so incompetent when she's so obviously smart. But, whatever. It fails. Her and Fred get captured in their own trap. Scooby and Shaggy get into mischief in what seems like a game from a Tony Hawk video game. They jump onto a skateboarder, skating around a conveyor belt, and just end up smacking into the lunar ghost. This is funny. This is Shaggy smack count number 1, because he smacks people several times through this movie. It saves the day by just slamming into them, swinging into them.
That is true, actually.
This is the first, dude, it's I was counting as I was watching, it was he does this at least 3 to 4 times, but that's number 1. He smacks into the lunar ghost.
You gotta love how there's cartoon physics in this. Live adapted film.
Well, of course, dude, because they're oh, we're writing a Scooby-Doo movie, and then someone's wait, this is live action? I thought we were writing an animated movie. It's why would we have so much tits in this movie if it was gonna be animated?
But why?
We're not freaks.
Clearly, they don't don't understand weeb culture.
Yes. But, yeah, and what was it? So they slam the ghost into a bunch of boxes. The mystery van slams into the, factory. And we have our celebrity cameo. You know it. The person who obviously would make a cameo in a Scooby Doo kids movie.
I completely forgot about this.
Pamela Anderson.
Couldn't believe it.
Bruh, I thought it was Carmen Electra for some reason. Then I was like, oh no, it's Pamela
Not
Anderson.
quite. Good thing they say it. We're too young to fully understand who Pamela Anderson even is.
Dude. It's one of those things where it's like, I think, didn't her sex tape leak around this time?
Did it?
I feel like
I have no idea.
I feel like it leaked around the early 2000s. Maybe it was right after this, because they wouldn't have had her in this if it was before the movie, right? But
all I know is this is the chick from Borat. My wife, or future wife.
All I know is this is the chick from the classic sitcom Stacked.
Never heard of it.
It's about a busty librarian.
I think she'd do all right in that role.
It got 2 seasons somehow.
Boys and Geeks got 1 season, Chris.
But did they have titties?
Linda Cardellini was there the whole time. And that one blonde girl, I can't ever remember her name.
I know she's in Cougar Town, but yeah, I don't really remember her either.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And they had so many early stars in that show. But yeah, so Pamela Anderson smacks into, the
Why is
factory.
she driving the mystery van?
Who knows? I mean, we never, it's like...
Is she the 6th member of the gang?
Yeah, Fred was probably like, yeah, we should have her join. And, the girls are like, no. And Shaggy is like, ooh, maybe she's got some food in her, shirt. Zoinks,
Zoinks.
Oh, man, I thought when you said melons, you meant real melons.
I hate him. But I love him.
I love Matthew Lillard.
How couldn't you?
Oh,
he
God.
plays this role so well.
He does. He's doing the best in this movie. But yeah. So yeah, she smacks into the fucking factory. I've said this the 3rd time I'm saying this. And they bring in an entire crowd of people, newscasters and fans. They have a bunch of fucking fans who are all
What are they on tour?
Dude, they're a famous mystery solving team, apparently. But yeah, so and they're signing autographs, and Velma came up with the plan to catch the ghost, which did fail. But then Fred claims all credit for the plan and stuff and everything, and Velma feels some kind of way about it. So afterwards, they're walking out to the mystery van to head out, and
I should be thanking Shaggy.
Yes, Shaggy and Scooby slam into the ghost after the plan fails. But they're both too high or hungry to care, so they just
Hungry, not high.
Yes, I know. Sorry, I'm thinking of the other cut. So, so they head back to the van or whatever. They kind of are arguing and stuff. And yeah, and Shaggy's like, "Come on, guys, we all contribute. We all do something. Or I mean, you guys do something. I just sort of wait around until I slam into the bad guy."
He compares the whole gang to a banana split.
And he says the most disgusting things on his banana split. He says spicy mustard.
Yeah, he says Velma's the spicy mustard.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Scooby's like, fuck yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Sounds disgusting.
That's horrendous.
I kind of zoned out. I remember hearing Sunday and I came back at spicy mustard. I was like, what?
What?
See, I thought about that. I was like, no.
Huh?
Okay. Yeah, but and Velma's after Shaggy's let's put our hands in. She's like, I agree, Shaggy. I am, great. I quit. And Daphne's like, wait, you can't quit. I wanted to quit. Now if I quit, everyone's gonna think I was copying you because Daphne she's very insecure about everything.
Daphne, shut the hell up.
It's we don't want to hear Velma talk. We definitely want to hear you talk.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, thinking you're hot shit or something.
You quiet, you Buffy.
Damn it.
Oh, but Yeah, and then, like, Fred's like, yeah, you know, maybe I want to quit. And they all look at him, yeah, I quit. And it's like, why? Like, I don't understand, like, why he's, like, Velma makes sense. Like, she feels like she's, like, you know, not getting enough credit or whatever. Daphne quits because she feels like she's always the damsel, but I don't think quitting would stop that. And things seem like they're going well for Fred, but he's like, yeah, let's quit.
He had to go solo.
Yeah, you know, he had to pull a John Lennon.
Where's Oko?
Dude. Oko is you know, something he keeps in his pocket.
Oko.
A mirror. And he pulls it out and he's like, I'm Fred. You're doing great, Fred. Got that right, Fred. Because he's...
Freddie Prinze Jr. is good at this role.
He's very narcissistic, so...
He's so vain. I love it.
It's one of the things that was like, he's good at this role and playing that, but like, Fred was like, not super vain, more in the fact that Fred was just like, what I think they did, he did
I always
this,
thought Fred was just an idiot.
Fred was an idiot, but he was also like, an idiot who just assumed he was always right, and that like, he just appointed himself the leader. Like, he never really demonstrated any attributes that would make you like...
Well, of course he's the leader. He has the broadest shoulders.
He's the man, he has the broadest shoulders, yes.
He's the only one wearing an ascot, Chris.
But yeah, so they all break up or whatever, and then like we skip 2 years later.
I love this also, by the way. They all drove separately. They all are walking to their individual cars, which I finally noticed this in that scene. I was like, why did they all drive separately? Like,
dude, exactly.
I thought they always drove in the van together.
They do. So it's like, what the hell? Like,
since when do they drive separately? This breakup was bound to happen.
No, dude, they all just drove to they all just walked to separate corners and got a taxi.
But there are cars right there that match what they're wearing.
Oh shit, you're right. Oh, that's weird. That's fucking weird.
Isn't that stupid?
What the fuck? What?
Then Shaggy and Scooby are just next to the mystery van still.
That's so weird. Okay. Okay, well, I guess that's foreshadowing, dude. This breakup was gonna happen. They were all driving
It had
separately.
to, yeah, like...
exactly. You know, it's like when your parents start showing up in different cars. It's like, wow.
Can't relate.
Pour it out for all the children from broken homes, right, guys?
Yeah, that's right. Do you really want me to pour this out?
No, Jesus, no. Not here.
Not in my home.
Don't do that. You.
Please. You.
God. All right, but
2 years later.
2 years later, the scene starting on the mystery machine, and like we see that there's smoke coming out from the top of the mystery machine, and what is it but our guys smoking up some eggplant burgers? Because this is a kids movie.
Since when is he a vegetarian? I did not know this. Didn't remember this.
Casey Kasem, who voiced Shaggy last, was a vegetarian from, like, I think, at a certain point during the original show and then other occurrences in, like, a pup named Scooby Doo and all that stuff. He was a vegetarian, and he just wanted the character to be a vegetarian, so they kept that going. He's been, like, a vegetarian, I think, ever since.
Ah, whatever. He wasn't on Zombie Island.
He wasn't. But he's vegetarian now.
Eggplant burgers. Disgusting.
Maybe not. What made them definitely disgusting is the chocolate sauce and hot sauce they were putting on them.
These sick freaks.
Dude. And then as they're eating these burgers or whatever, some dude knocks on the van, and he's like, hey, is Shaggy and Scooby in there? I have something from a guy from Spooky Island. And they're like, oh, no, Scoob, there's some guy who wants us to go investigate some creepy-ass place. Let's get the hell out of here.
They open the door to exactly where he is.
But it's like, you're in a van. Drive away.
Chris, they're too high to drive away. I mean, they're too hungry to drive
Too
away.
hungry, yes. And they're like, nope, man, we don't go to any place called Spooky, Haunted, or Hydroponic. But that's for a whole completely different reason. And he's like, okay, but we'll pay you. He's like, we're not into money. There's fame. Nah, all you can eat. And they're like, all you can eat? We're in, man. So, like, we switched to...
Radical.
So, like, they're at the airport or whatever, heading in, and, like, we see Fred and Velma run into each other at the airport, and they talk about what they've been up to.
Hi! Hello.
Fred's written a book about himself.
What an asshole.
I just don't remember the character being this vain. He's so vain.
My God, he cannot stop.
This man does a thing from American Psycho where during sex he looks at himself in the mirror.
And flexes.
Yes. But, and then Velma's like, yeah, I've been working for NASA designing, like, advanced missile defense systems. So, you know, she was definitely for the invasion of Iran.
But more importantly, she was on a mission of self-discovery.
Yes.
Whatever that means.
See,
She's working for NASA.
She's working for NASA. Well, some people
She's a genius. Why is she doing this?
I think the movie is not written well enough for this to be the case, but I think it's just that also that insecurity and self-doubt of, like, never getting that recognition for all the time she's figured out who the bad guy was and, like, these mysteries.
She always knows.
She always figures it out, like, and then never getting the credit that she deserved. Like,
She actually doesn't figure this one out later.
She does not figure this one out.
No one could have foreseen this.
Literally nobody would have saw this coming. But a terrible review. But anyways, yeah. And they then run into Daphne or whatever, who has a bajillion, like, Kate,
What do you mean I can't take on 8 carry-on bags? God, Daphne. God damn it.
They're like, alright, so Fred is incredibly narcissistic, Daphne is a spoiled brat, Velma needs a hug, and Shaggy and Scooby eat a lot. That's your characters. Go for it. But,
Scooby's a dog.
Scooby's a dog.
Later, Shaggy's gonna be a dog.
Hey.
We'll get to that, though.
Oh, you're whipped. But, and eventually Shaggy shows up. And he's like, oh my goodness, we're all here. We're all going to solve a mystery together. And there are Fred, Velma, and Daphne are, like, not really...
Well, they're all like, oh, what a coincidence.
Yeah,
and Velma was like, obviously, we've all been invited at the same time. It's like, yeah, obviously. How are you the only one who gets this?
Because everyone else is an idiot, and including Velma at certain times. But,
True.
They're like, so where's Scooby? And Shaggy's like, oh, he says like, Grandma.
They don't let dogs onto the plane.
Yeah.
She's a brick house.
And you just see Scooby. He's in fucking heels. Like, he's like coming over in like heels and a dress and a hat, and like Daphne and Velma are both like, no one's gonna buy this, and Fred is like, who's the ugly old bra?
Comes up and gives him a kiss.
Yeah. Still doesn't know.
What the hell? Scooby Doo is supposed to be a man.
Why they putting that dog in a dress?
This country's going to shit.
Scooby is a boy dog.
Convinces Fred. That fucking idiot.
Because he is a dumbass. And they head to the plane, and as they're on the plane chilling, this girl comes over.
Planes like this don't exist, also.
Oh.
Everyone is acting on this plane nuts.
Oh, the fact that everyone on this plane is between the age of 20 to 30, and actually 18 to 30, and they're fucking just yelling and throwing crap and drinking and, like, partying almost on this plane, like...
I've never seen a plane like this.
I don't care if you're flying to, like, what is it, Cabo, Miami, any of these places. This will not be allowed. Like,
God, no. Well, it will when you're going to Spooky Island.
Yeah, dude. It's where all the college kids go.
Who are all these losers?
Could you imagine, dude, like, open up your dorm room, like, hey guys, I got 3 tickets to Spooky Island. It's like, the fuck are you talking about, Trent? Like,
his name would be Trent. But also, like, I'm poor. You got me a ticket?
Yes.
I'm going.
Is it one way or is it back? All right, I'll come. If it's, we're getting a way back too. So they get you, Jack.
Every time.
These one-way tickets. That's how I got left at the Haunted Mansion. Oh, God.
We're on the plane. We made it to the plane.
So, yeah, we're on the plane, and Shaggy and Scooby are sitting down or whatever, and a girl, a beautiful, very beautiful girl, comes to sit down next to Scooby and Shaggy, played by Isla Fisher.
I think it's Isla.
Is it Isla?
Isla.
Isla?
I think.
Maybe. I've always heard Isla, but
Isla.
yeah.
Isla.
Could be Isla. But
that's what it was.
But we'll be calling her Mary Jane.
Naturally.
Yes.
That's my favorite name!
He meets Mary Jane. Shaggy's infatuated. She also eats dog food for some reason. And it's actually acknowledged here that it is dog food. But
Scooby snacks.
Scooby snacks, yes.
Specifically, because she's a freak and she's a vegetarian also. Weirdos.
Yes, these 2 weird vegetarians.
Eating dog food instead.
Yeah, and she's
despicable.
And dude, and now this also starts, one of our interesting arcs, for Shaggy, where she's sneezing a lot because she's allergic to dogs. So Shaggy, tells his best bud to kick rocks and go sit with Fred or Velma.
And Velma.
Fred and Velma, yeah. So he goes over there, and then somehow there's a cat on the plane or whatever.
What?
What? And they're all like, Scoob, no! But they, eventually end up at the island or whatever, and they're like... But yeah, so they get off the boat or whatever, and they're heading in, and some dude in, a freaky, spooky costume is, yelling at everybody, and he sees them. It's like, oh, it's Mystery Inc. And who else pops out but Mr. Bean? Because...
God bless Mr. Bean. So sick.
It's weird to see him speak. But yes, Rowan Atkinson playing Emil Mondavarius pops out of this spooky costume and is saying how happy he is that the gang all came or whatever, and he's hoping for them to solve the case, and they're like, well, we're not together, so we'll be doing this separately. And he's like, well, what's broken can always be fixed, and you guys can come together to solve this mystery. And they're like,
that's very optimistic, Mr. Bean. It's
very optimistic. You're very invested in us for some reason, and us getting back together for some reason, Mr. Bean.
Why is that?
Why are you so invested? Who cares? But,
big fan.
But yeah, and he's they're asking him questions, so what's going on? He's like, well, it's the kids, they come here like this, and he just points to a bunch of assholes yelling and drinking and barking.
It's a bunch of college kids.
They didn't pick the college kids, just the
bunch
worst,
of dicks.
Just the worst people imaginable. And he's like, and then they leave like this, and just orderly a line of college kids just standing, waiting to get onto the boat, dead silent, none of them talking to each other at all. And
as it should be.
Yeah. And then one dude goes over to the girl in the front of that line or whatever, and he's like, hey, Sarah, it's me. And she's like, I don't know who you are. It's like, no, it's me, we've known each other since kindergarten. Come on, what's wrong with you or whatever? And she's like, get out of my grill, and picks him up and tosses him.
Picks him up sideways, over her head, and just tosses him 20 feet away.
And then she picks up her luggage and gets on the boat.
Like nothing ever happened. Yeah. Very impressive.
No, yes. And it's after I saw that, I'd be like, something is happening. So it's just the fact that...
You should leave now.
Dude, the fact that 5'5" girl picked up that 5'10" dude and chucked him.
He deserved it for that hair that he has. Oh God. These people look so early 2000s. It's disgusting.
Dude, the lack of Smash Mouth in this is actually surprising.
No, but we got that other person. What's his... What's his name?
I don't know, fuck it, dude. I don't know, early 2000 bands.
Oh, God. What's his name? Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray.
Jesus Christ.
I just wanna fly. I wanna.
Disgusting.
But yeah, so they're like, okay, so we're gonna figure this out. So they get invited to like the Spooka whatever that's later that night, where it's like a ceremony and like
Spookapalooza.
Spookapalooza, yeah, where we meet like
Spookapalooza.
Spookapalooza. Pardon my French.
That's not French.
And they, so they're there, like, they're all asking people questions and stuff, and we meet another character named, like, Nagu or something, like...
I have no idea what his name is.
We'll call him Skinhead. So we meet...
We meet Skinhead. We meet American History X.
We meet White Blade, and...
and his buddy Telemundo.
Now we might get canceled for that.
Oh, come on! He does the same thing!
I gotta just see what the fuck... What is his name? Oh, God. His name is Naguta Una, so... that is Skinhead. And, the...
Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre is Zarkos. But, yeah, I'll just call him Luchador, Nacho, or whatever. But, yeah, they are, like, doing this, like, ceremony ever to, like, you know, frighten everybody and stuff and everything. They're trying to scare everybody, and they try to scare Velma, but she's like, I would be scared if I didn't see all the film projectors. Ha-ha, jinkies.
Haha, you're an idiot.
And he just pats her on the head, like, dumb brat, and gets back to his job. How dare you make me look dumb?
How dare?
How dare? And they're like, hey, Scooby, I got some hamburgers for you.
I got a bag of hamburgers for you in the middle of the woods.
Dude, they literally say in the middle of the dark, creepy woods. And he's like, hamburger? Okay. And he, like, just heads off into the woods to go get these hamburgers.
To be fair, Chris, he is a dog.
Yes.
And a high one at that.
He's an incredibly stoned dog. I agree with you.
Hungry. He's a very hungry dog.
But then after that, we see Daphne walking on a beach, and she runs into Joanna Man. Can't think of this actor's name, but I just know him from Joanna Man. And
the shaman.
The shaman.
The voodoo man.
The voodoo man, who, you know, like, he's, you know, about to, like, sacrifice a dead chicken to, like, protect him from, like, whatever's happening on the island.
I hate how much I like this scene.
It's a funny scene.
It's so funny. Because he's like, don't you see I'm trying to sacrifice this chicken? She's like, it's already dead, though.
Oh,
I know that. He's like,
what? He's like, oh, what gave you that hint? The lack of a head?
It's like, I don't know who's supposed to be the stupid one here.
Well, like, it's something that came up to me, too, watching this, where I was like, do you just live on this island? Like, you don't work at the hotel living, like, here, but it's like, how do you just live on this island? Like,
where is this?
It's like,
where is Spooky Island?
Is it, like, is Spooky Island, like, you know,
it's
like,
in the Bermuda Triangle.
That's a cut scene that they were like, this is stupid. They just cut that out.
Unbelievably bad.
But, like,
who suggested this?
But yeah, no, and like, he's like, hey, whatever, you know, whatever you do, girl, don't go in that spooky castle up there. And she's like, haha, you're telling me not to go in that spooky castle because you want me to go in that spooky castle because you want to trap me. Unless you know that I would know that you wanted me to go up there, in which case you're not doing anything up there, but then maybe you actually are still doing something up there. Which means I'm going to go up there. And she, like, storms out, and he's like, what the hell?
What is she talking about? Like, I got to sacrifice this dead chicken now. Like, I got things to do.
Gotta protect my home on this spooky island where I live. I'm sorry, I'm just very confused about the dynamics.
Where is this?
Where is this? Like, is the whole island just Spooky Island and he just has his hut there? Like, is he like a person that came one day and was like... Because I'm wondering, like, you know, is it like gentrification where he was just chilling out on this island and then, like, Rowan Atkinson showed up and was like, I'm gonna build a hotel, you know?
He was the only one on the island before.
Yeah. What came first?
Then Rowan Atkinson came up And like all British people, he colonized the island
based on the location
to
of
make
this
himself
island.
wealthy.
There's a story where, the shaman's people were wiped out. Oh, God.
That's another deleted scene.
He goes into the rich background of the island's history while Daphne texts someone on her Palm Pilot.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, your story got kind of boring. He's like, God damn, white girls.
Is that how you feel, Chris?
Not me.
Couldn't be me.
Never. But yeah, as this is happening, Scooby finally reaches his bag of hamburgers, which is actually out in the woods. There's an actual bag of hamburgers out there. He's eating them. And he gets attacked by a monster, but he's able to escape it. And then, after that,
He runs back to the party, runs into Shaggy.
who's hanging out with Mary Jane.
Nice.
Yeah.
And obviously the monster has disappeared.
Mm.
This time, it looks like a CGI monster for sure.
It looks terrible.
It looks so bad.
It looks like it popped out of an early PlayStation 2 game. Like, ugh.
Weird looking.
It's so weird looking and jarring. Like, it's like, this isn't real.
This clearly is wrong. Honestly, Scooby actually looks okay in most of these scenes.
Yeah,
But
he looks fine. It's like one of those, like, it's not a real dog, but, like, it's okay.
it's
Like,
alright.
These, like, giant, they look like giant. You ever seen Gremlins?
It looks like a big gremlin.
Yeah, it's a big gremlin. Like, it,
Except worse
yeah.
than they did. Somehow.
Sickly gremlin. Like, more sickly than the gremlins. But,
An anorexic gremlin.
an 8-foot tall anorexic gremlin. I bet it'd be a good point guard.
Looks just like Kevin Durant.
Oh, God. But, yeah, so after that, like, Mary Jane decides to head out, and, like, Shaggy and Scooby get basically brought on to go into the castle by Daphne, who's like, come on, guys, I need you to go into this castle with me to solve this mystery. Even though...
Won't you do it for a Scooby snack?
Yeah.
Coercing them, as always.
Exactly. It's a classic, like, Scooby Doo thing, where it's like, they never want to do this stuff, and they're like, but wouldn't you do it for a Scooby snack?
What would they not do for a Scooby snack?
Dude, kill each other? I'm thinking that's literally the only thing they wouldn't do, because they always...
They might. They get in a fight later.
They do.
But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But it's also weird that Daphne does this, because, like, her whole, like, the whole thing they're setting this character up to do in this movie is, like, she wants to do this on her own. She wants her own agency. She wants to, be self-reliant. And then she's like, but I need help. I need Scooby and Shaggy.
I need the two idiots, the two dumbest people on the team to do it.
I need people I know I'm definitely smarter than, so, I can claim credit. So, yeah, so Daphne and Shaggy and Scooby head into the castle, and then they run into Fred and Velma. Velma scares the crap out of Daphne.
Fred's like, "Oh, I've already found a few clues. I saw footprints." Fuck you, Fred. You didn't find anything. You asshole.
But yeah, they all find their different means for getting there. And like always, like any classic Scooby-Doo episode, Fred's like, alright guys, let's split up and look for clues. Daphne and I will go here. Shaggy, you and Scoob, and then like Velma cuts in like, oh yes, of course. You and Daphne go, and then Shaggy goes off somewhere else, and I'm left alone. And
why is she always left alone?
it's weird. Because it's like, they never just think like, why don't you go with
She
Shaggy?
probably
and
handled
Scoob?
herself the best since she's the smartest, but like,
She's a smart girl, but like, yeah, it's weird because like,
she works for NASA.
well, yeah, but like, it's always like, they always do that in this show too, where it's like, they never just sent her with Shaggy, or like with Daphne, or with Fred, because like, Scooby talks, but like, he's a fucking dog, like, send her with another group of people, like.
Another good question. Can everyone understand Scooby-Doo?
It's a fair question.
Is it just Shaggy? Is it just the gang? Can everyone else in this movie understand him?
I don't think so. I think based on a few scenes with Mary Jane not really recognizing that Scooby's fucking talking shows that not really everyone knows. Because Scooby is saying like a bunch of shit around Mary Jane all the time, and she's not freaking the fuck out.
He's talking shit.
He is talking straight shit. She even's up in his face when he's saying a few things, and she's not freaking the fuck out. Which either means only the gang can hear, or I guess dogs just talk in this world. I mean, we have at least 2 dogs talk in this world, but we'll get to that.
So we're switching it up. We're switching the dynamics up.
Yes, Fred and Velma go off, Shaggy and Scooby go off, and Daphne goes off. Again, it's weird that they always just send one person off alone. But whatever.
Why are they splitting up? Why do they always do this?
It's the dumbest thing, man. Hey, don't
We
ask...
can cover more ground if we all split up.
Jack, I'm black. You know I will never pull some shit like that. Like, someone say, oh, let's split up. I'll be like, shut the fuck up. We're not doing that. We need to stay together.
If we're ever in a scary movie together, I'm going to meme the shit out of you the whole time.
But, yeah, so they're all looking around the island. A little person comes and turns on the...
You mean the castle.
Oh, yeah, they're in the castle. And a little person comes, turns on the abandoned castle, which then begins to try to murder all of the gang in a way that seems really weird for anything that was supposed to be an attraction. Like, Daphne almost gets rammed into a bunch of spikes in a wall. But
There are swords sticking out of it.
Exactly, just blades. And, like, Velma and, like, Freddy are in a room where, like, these pendulum, like, axes are swinging around. And then the most creepiest one of all is the Scooby and Shaggy are in a feast room where the sausages on the wall and the turkeys on the wall grab them, yank them into the wall, and then out of the turkeys pop these weird hands that tries to eat them.
Amazingly, this one out of all 3 makes the least sense.
You could have, like, going from, like, most sense to least sense, there could be some room for, like, Velma and Fred's where it's like, oh, maybe it's like a weird pendulum room that aren't really sharp or whatever. It could be like an attraction, like you gotta dodge them. Maybe, you know, they somehow left fucking swords on Daphne's death trap, but Shaggy's...
Well, surely, you know, that's just part of the ride. Like, it either stops or that part just removes itself and it goes on further or something else. Like, what happens to them makes no sense. Especially because when it stops, this wall is the thinnest wall of all time. Like, how is this possible?
The wall falls. There's no animatronics or anything behind it.
Microchips.
Dude, those are arms that pop out of the wall. Like, there's nothing behind the wall. Like,
Isn't it because Fred goes through that window that this all stops?
yes. Again, complete accident. This movie, we already have 2 circumstances where they survive or win through complete accident. Like,
Fred's very lucky.
Fred's about to get murdered by an axe when Velma throws him a book and he uses it to block the axe, but it swings him into the glass room.
Yeah, just pushes him in.
And he luckily hits the lever and turns off everything before Daphne dies, before Scooby and Shaggy die. Like, and then they just wander around. Velma and this is, I love this. Velma and Fred find a bunch of training videos that, like, go over how to talk like young people, and it is amazing.
Am I the only one who thought of Lost when I saw this?
I haven't seen it, so out of us, yes.
Shit.
Right?
In Lost, they have, like, these training videos and shit, and that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Well,
It's inside the vault. You have to get in there. It's a secret. Whatever.
well, I know Lost came out after this, so maybe it stole it.
Maybe.
But I like this so much because, like, it's like one dude's, like, bumps into a guy and he's like,
Oh yeah, the training video
Yes.
of how to act like a normal young adult.
yes, like, he bumps into him and he's like, I will destroy you. Like, and the, like, training person's like, now that we saw that, how about we try it in a different way? And, like, the guy bumps in, and I thought it was so funny that I actually took a note, because he was like, he bumps into him and he says, sorry, bro. Another dude's like, oh, no big whoop. Dog, you catch that new vid on the box? True that. I'm up to sniz on all the popular trends. Word.
What's the sniz?
And have been funny if they said, like, what's the sitch? I would have loved that. But,
He's got a snook up his sniz.
And a shove down his swizzle. But they're like, it's the early 2000s, so they're like, oh, yeah, we have to make these kids talk all that hippity hop. So, so they can fit in.
Is this still considered jive in this time?
Based on who's saying it.
Jive turkeys.
Oh, yes. But, so they do that, and then we see Shaggy and Scooby are actually in the set that they were recording that, and they decide to have a fart off. And they fart for...
A burp, then fart off.
I'm sorry, a burp, then fart off. And Shaggy wins.
Dominates.
He farts so much. He farts far past it being funny. And it...
Nice.
Yes.
You challenging me?
Let's do it right here. Burp, fart off.
Disgusting.
The grossest. And luckily Daphne walks in to see them messing around or whatever. Scooby tries to warn Shaggy, but doesn't listen. He continues to fart.
I mean, she already knows this about these two. Like,
no, exactly.
I'm not sure what they're trying to hide. These idiots.
Well, it's like when they like split up. It's one of the things where it's like Shaggy and Scooby aren't looking for clues. They usually go look for fucking food. That's literally what they do, and that's what they did here. They found the feast room. It's what they always do.
Fiends.
They're fiends. Which I can't blame them. If I was in their shoes, I might also go look for food. I'm just so hungry. But,
all the time.
All the time. Where's Ben?
Word up.
But, then the whole gang gets back together. Velma, Daphne, Freddy, and Scooby and Shaggy. And they're all telling each other what they found. Like, Daphne, didn't mention this, Daphne goes into this weird chamber, and she finds the Millennium Puzzle, and starts a game of shadows and monsters.
Ha! I banish you to the Shadow Realm!
Mind break!
I don't know how I didn't think of this. Watching this. It's exactly what it is.
Dude, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this movie in 2002.
Yes, this magic triangle that if you pick it up, a triangle will enclose upon you.
You see, Daphne grew 4 inches and her voice deepened.
It's time! Brooklyn Rage!
Yeah,
not canon.
It's Bad Takes talking abridged.
Oh, God. Here we go again.
Oh, okay. Alright. God damn it. Alright. So she finds the Damon-ritis. Yes, literally the demon right. And...
Can't believe they named it right away. Can't believe that Velma just understands what's written on this, what it is. She just figures it out immediately. She's a genius.
Dude, it's one of those things where it's just like, she's smart, she'll get it. And she brings that, Velma and Fred are like, oh, we think this is like some sort of cult, and they're like brainwashing these college students, which, a lot more plausible than what's actually happening. And
definitely.
Yeah, and Scooby and Shaggy don't know what's happening at all, because they're idiots. But...
Classic.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, everyone shows up or whatever, all, like, the, like, people that work there and stuff, and the luchador and all that stuff and everything. So they decide to...
The skinhead starts playing the piano.
Yeah, they escape the castle, and the skinhead plays the piano. This is about the point where the classic, like, from the journey into the spooky castle, and this is, like, classic Scooby Doo stuff that's happening. Like, this is pretty enjoyable, it's pretty funny. We are now entering new territory that it's just going to move very fast and not be as entertaining.
This is where the movie gets really bad.
Yes. So, Velma, being the smartest person in the group, decides to...
The smartest person in the entire world, I'm pretty sure.
Decides to research the Damon-ritis at the hotel bar. In plain view. When she realizes that the people who are involved in this work at the hotel. And she gets some dude sits next to her or whatever, and is like super.
Does he have a name?
I don't know. I don't care. Some guy. He's like mentioned. He at the end of the movie, but I don't know what his name is. But he's like definitely down. He's like like he gets them drinks or whatever, is asking her questions and stuff and everything. She gets a little. You can tell she gets a little inebriated because like she's like loosens up.
She gets drunk.
Yeah. She loosens up and start talking about all this crap or whatever, which you really shouldn't do when you're like trying to solve a mystery and anyone could be a suspect.
It was the best time of my life.
Velma starts telling a story about like the good old days or whatever before the gang broke up. And then we get introduced to Scrappy Doo, who...
Puppy power!
Pees on Daphne. Weird. Weird thing to have
Very
in this
weird.
kids movie. And
I told you, Scrappy, to not pee on Daphne!
You're marking your territory, Scrappy. And like he's like, whatever. It's time you guys make me the leader or I'm leaving. And they all look at each other and ditch him in the middle of the desert.
Hey, there's a sign right there that says what the closest town is.
It's
like,
still the middle of the desert.
It's 6 miles away. He'll be alright.
Yeah.
I love how they had to add that he's not a puppy.
Yeah, he has a gland problem.
He has a gland problem. That's actually funny. I actually like that. It's stupid, but I like it.
But it makes you feel better so they don't abandon a puppy. But yeah, so she's telling that story.
To be fair, everyone hates Scrappy Doo.
I don't hate Scrappy Doo that much. I hate him because
Most people hate Scrappy Doo. I don't mind Scrappy Doo.
Wait, it's because of our generation. Like a lot of people hate Scrappy Doo, like we're younger people that knew Scooby Doo before, and they did the thing that most 60-year-old producers do, where it's like, oh, the kids aren't watching anymore. Let's add a new young character that they'll identify with. Oh god, but yeah, they're back at the hotel or whatever. And, like, they also say that, they meet Mondavarius, and they're like, oh, yeah, we got 3 suspects in mind. Nagu, the skinhead, the voodoo man, because reasons, and,
Well, he's just a weirdo.
He's just a weirdo. And, Mondavarius. And he's like, me? And you're like, yeah. And, like, Fred's like, no offense, you just creep me out. He just walks away.
Mr.
Like,
Bean's like, that makes sense.
no, it's fine. But then, like, Shaggy thinks he sees a monster. No, Scooby thinks he sees a monster through the window, and he does. And, like, he goes to tell Fred, and Fred's like, for the last time, there's no such thing as... And a monster breaks in, and he yells, monsters! And they all just start attacking people or whatever, and, like, they do the whole thing. Velma's glasses fall off or whatever, and she's like, oh, no, my glasses.
My glasses. Jinkies.
And she finally gets lifted up. She tries to pull off the monster's face and doesn't come off. And they like...
That's how you know she's drunk. When she's like trying to fuck with his ears
Yeah,
and everything.
like, oh, this is the worst mask I've ever seen. Yeah. And like, then they start like...
It's even worse than that scene in Zombie Island where they actually pull off that zombie's head.
Yes. Oh, God. That good scene.
Great scene.
Yes.
Hardcore.
Dude. And they start like belching green mist into people's faces to like knock them unconscious. And like we eventually get to a scene where like, Shaggy, Daphne, and Mary Jane have all evaded being captured by these monsters. And like Scooby gets them all in a cart and is like pushing them down a hallway or whatever away from the monsters.
Classic Scooby Doo.
Classic Scooby Doo. They're about to go out of a window, so Scooby's about to kill them. And they're like, Scooby, no! And like, whoa! And they like smash out the window. And luckily they hit like an awning at the bottom, like, so they luckily escape or whatever. Daphne's like, alright, we gotta go save them. And Shaggy is like, no, I think we should leave Thelma and Fred to get eaten by the monsters and get out of here.
Sounds like something you'd say.
I would never leave you guys.
You easily would.
No. There's a good chance I could save you. I would not.
Now if there was a bunch of spooky monsters around.
Mary Jane gets the bright idea. She's like, we should call the Coast Guard. Which I'm like, that's a good idea. So they call the Coast Guard.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. They call the Coast Guard. But sadly, the Coast Guard's also in on it. They're like, ha ha ha. Things are going on at Spooky Island and we're not going to do anything about it.
Ha ha. What? Are they monsters or not?
Don't know. Oh, yes. Oh, fuck. Cat's out of the bag. All the people are acting weird. They're possessed by these monsters. Whatever. So,
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, it's the next day. We're on Spooky Island. Everything.
They all fell asleep on the beach, and nothing happened to them.
Nothing happens. Like, because they all go to the beach to wait for the Coast Guard, and they've just been unconscious. And yeah, the whole island's been repaired. All the, like...
Don't know how that works.
It looks pristine. It's perfectly, like, new. Like, and all the guests are back out, and they're all partying and having fun, playing volleyball, drinking, listening to music.
Hey, pass back the ball. Fuck you. It's volleyball. Get over yourself. God.
Dude.
People who play volleyball on the beach are the worst.
I agree. And, you know, Daphne, as she's walking, she runs into who else but Sugar Ray, who's, you know, I just want to fly. I want.
I don't think that's the song he's singing.
Is that not what he's singing?
No.
Oh.
He's singing some, like, romantic song or something. And he's looking right at her, and Daphne's like, pass.
After Shaggy and Scooby run into Fred, who's like, oh, you know, when I was like, this hole was like, you know, up in my grill, whatever. And like, Shaggy and Scooby come over, and he's like, oh, what's up, dog? And, dog? It's just like... And they're like, you okay? It's like, yeah, I'm good, or whatever. And then, like, literally 20 seconds into this, they all just, like, switch and, like, take off their glasses and stuff, and their eyes look weird, and they start, like, letting out this green gas and start going after them, where it's like, why keep up this pretense for 20 to 30 seconds just to switch into monsters? Like,
I don't know. This movie's very strange.
It's strange, but luckily it's keeping up the pace right now, so it's moving. So they all start getting chased by these monsters. The whole Sugar Ray and his band are moving around like night crawlers. They, like, run into a shed that's full of these four-wheelers that they jump onto to escape from the group.
Yeah, Shaggy, Scooby, and Mary Jane escape.
Yeah.
Daphne does not.
No, Daphne gets captured. But
Classic.
Yes. But, dude, like, as they're driving the, like, four-wheelers, Mary Jane gets, like, clipped by this branch.
And her face looks so fucked up.
It looks so fucked, and you can see how poor the CGI budget was. Because, like, it just, like, you just see green eyes and, like, a weird, like smile or whatever. And she just, like, pulls her face and smacks it back into place.
And she, like, gives him a big smile, and I was like, nice.
Scooby's like, Raggy, she's a monster. And, like, Shaggy's like, no, Scooby, you got a problem. You've always had a problem with Mary Jane. You need to back off. And, like, Scooby's like, you're whipped. And it's just
brutal.
Like, for all the kids in the audience.
And Scooby's not capping.
Not at all. You know, he made a whoosh, and the whole thing, you know, like, and they get into...
It was brutal.
It was terribly brutal. And, like, Scooby falls through a hole in the ground, and then, like, Shaggy goes to go after him, and Mary Jane lets out a voice that's, like, a large, deep male voice. Wait. Like, and, like, as I watch them, like, I feel like they're trying to allude to something. They're not going to go for it. But Shaggy's like, no, he's my best friend. I got to go after him. So, Shaggy jumps head first through this hole. Stupid.
What? Stupid?
That's so fucking... Like, dude,
why would he do that?
Head first into a...
He's a retarded person, I swear. God damn it.
Luckily, he suffers no fucking head injury. But
luckily, no, he needs to be punished for these silly things he does.
Well, they just copy the cartoon, and you just see him, like, crinkle up like an accordion and then, like, bounce off.
He makes the accordion sound as well.
Like, I can't make those noises. But, yeah, and then, like, he goes and finds this pool of souls. Souls are in this movie. Oh, God. And
not just any souls. Head souls.
Head souls, yes. Because only your head stays in soul form?
I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, he's, like, digging around. He finds Velma. or whatever, and she, like, basically explains to him, because he's an idiot, on what's happening. She says, oh, they separated our protoplasm from our bodies, or whatever. I need you to let me go so I can get back to my body. So he lets her go. He finds Daphne, and Daphne's like...
he finds Fred first.
Oh, okay, he finds Fred, and Fred's like, I need you to talk me down.
I need you to talk me down, man! Legitimately funny.
He's saying, like, dude, I think someone put something in my drink, man.
I need you to talk me down right now, man! Love it. That's top notch. Might be my favorite part of the whole movie.
Man, dude, that's hysterical.
And he just like throws him back.
And then there's another great joke. He finds a completely random person, like, oh my god, thank you so much. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm kind of just looking for my friends.
And dips him back in.
He could have still let him go.
Yeah, what an asshole.
The thing is, like,
He could have saved everyone right then and there.
Knocked all the whole thing over. Like,
they're gonna do that later, spoilers, but...
Exactly, so it's like, god damn it.
Oh my god.
But then he gets to Daphne or whatever, and Daphne's still in this whole, like, I don't need anyone's help thing, you know.
Put me back in. I don't need your help.
I'll use my tongue as an oar and get to the side. And Shaggy's like, fuck this. He just, like, tosses her out.
He, like smacks her head backwards.
Yeah. So the souls get out, you know, and they all possess, you know, a body or whatever. And, like, you know, Velma gets to her body, and then she lets a soul jump into Daphne's. But it's not Daphne. It's Fred. Fred's gotten into Daphne's body, and his first thing is like, ooh, I can look at myself naked. Ooh.
You do the same thing.
I wouldn't. That was one of my friends.
It's Sarah Michelle Gellar, though.
Oh, no, that was Sarah Michelle. I'm not really, I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I'm not really attracted to Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Unbelievable. What if it's Linda Cardellini?
So, as
Anyway.
So obviously, Fred is being possessed by Daphne, and they all get back together or whatever, and you know, like, Fred is still just checking out Daphne's body, and Daphne's like, stop doing that. And
stop touching me.
And they all start switching bodies for a while, you know, because they got the Damon-ritis or whatever, which has caused this. And they're going to keep switching until they get back to their original body. But yeah, they finally all get back into their bodies, and then they decide to go see the Voodoo Man, who has not been attacked by any of these monsters because of his voodoo, I guess.
Smart.
Yes, good on him.
Another idea stolen from Zombie Island.
Dude.
Voodoo.
Yeah, we've been missing that, but yeah, real monsters, voodoo, absorbing essence. Yeah, but we'll
nice.
But yeah, he's like, you know, they're talking to him like, oh, you know, what's happening here? And he's like, what the hell? What are you guys still doing here? It's like, I'm blessing this weird. He had like a weird bug thing or whatever to like protect me from like the monsters or whatever. And they're like, what's gonna happen? And it's like, well, the demon right.
Shaggy was like, do you have another?
Yeah. But he basically like explains to him like, oh yeah, the Damon-ritis, you know, it's part of a ancient like, you know, prophecy that like the person who uses it will like create 10,000 years of darkness or something or whatever with like these demons.
This is too high of stakes for a Scooby Doo movie.
These stakes are insane for a Scooby Doo movie. It's like, I don't think the gang could save the world. The gang can barely survive going into a haunted house. Like,
aren't they like teenagers or something?
Dude, like, oh god, like, but yeah, so that's on the line, and they're all like, Shaggy's like, well, come on, guys, we can do this. We've always saved the day, and it's like, you're the one pushing everyone to do this. You want to leave everyone to die earlier, like, but they're all like,
good character growth.
It's good. It's good for, I don't know, I'd say like Daphne has an arc in this movie. I don't really see much in the others. Like, Fred just stays the same. Velma,
Shaggy becomes braver.
And Velma gets some recognition, but there's not really growth.
Fred's just an asshole.
Fred's just an asshole through and through. Well, he becomes slightly less of an asshole at the end when he's like, I guess I should maybe not take credit for things I don't do.
He still starts by doing it, though. Whatever, we'll get there.
Yeah. So, Jesus.
Let's come up with a plan.
And they start doing a montage where they got some upbeat music or whatever, and you see them like grabbing gear and putting stuff together and everything. And
where'd they get all this stuff? Whatever, I don't care.
They show it. They like get like the ropes and stuff from like the climbing like wall and everything. Like they're pulling it there from the hotel. But the plan is they're gonna sneak into the underground temple where they're keeping the souls. And they're going to hook up wires from the climbing wall to the tub to like knock it over. They're gonna lower like fucking disco ball in to let in the sunlight, because when the demons can't exist in sunlight. When they like the ghosts,
they're vampires.
They're vampires. Yeah.
Not Twilight vampires though.
They don't sparkle. They burn like vampires should. Disgusting, filthy vampires. Freaks. Without geeks. But
nice.
Yes. But that's like the plan or whatever. The plan is a little weird because, you know, they could just knock over the tub at any time to release all these souls, but whatever.
But why do that?
Why do that? Because they gotta save Scooby Doo, who's been captured by Mondavarius, and he's gonna be a sacrifice because, as a part of the prophecy, the person needs to absorb a bunch of human souls and one pure soul that doesn't need to be human.
Mr. Bean is one of the only people who can understand Scooby Doo.
Yes, he straight up understands him. So we know
Should be explained, though.
Yeah, it will definitely be explained.
Foreshadowing.
Yes, and Scooby, being an idiot,
doesn't know what the word sacrifice means.
It's a sacrifice. It's like, yes, you're very important. You'll be a sacrifice.
Nice.
Yes. So they got the whole plan going, you know, and they're like setting it up. Shaggy messes up tying rope to the tub of souls to knock it over. So he
ties it on himself somehow.
Yeah, it falls off. He flies into the air. Velma and Fred fall while Daphne's still trying to climb into the ceiling to get to the top of the cave or whatever, where the skylight
Daphne's
is.
the only person competent in this whole situation somehow.
She's the only one unaffected by this fuck up. But yeah, then like they're like moving in and they're doing this weird like Emilio but like some weird like chant or whatever, and like Fred and Velma try to like fit in or whatever, like copy the dance or whatever, while like Shaggy knocks out some guy in a pretty funny scene where he like again swinging around slams into a guy, knocking them out, and then he steals his clothes to like find Scooby.
Doesn't he wake back up and he does the same thing again?
Yeah, he smacks into him, and then as he's getting up, as he's pretending to do the dance, he like elbows him, kicks him in the crotch, elbows him again, and then hits him with a backhand to the face to knock him out.
Got him.
Yes. But yeah, so like all the group, they're still chanting or whatever, but then they all point at like Fred and Velma, and like Fred's still dancing, not realizing.
Velma points at him too.
Yeah, like she points at him because like she's following everybody else, but like Fred's gotten into her. He's just like still like dancing or whatever, and then he's like,
sometimes you just feel it.
He definitely feels himself. And then like he's like, guys, but wait, you know, we still gotta do, you know, like we do this and then we do the electric slide, you know, like hey, and then like Velma kind of joins in for some reason. And,
how foolish.
Oh, dude. But they just get like grabbed, and like Mondavarius grabs the Damaritis from their bag because they brought it for some reason. I wouldn't have brought it. And then they go to start the like ceremony or whatever. Shaggy is like talking to Scooby, who's being brought in on like a
like
chair.
You're my best pal.
You're like my best pal. We need to get out of here. And it's like, oh, thanks, Raggy. Let's go. Immediately, Scooby's soul gets ripped out of his body.
And he giggles about it.
Yeah. And like they're getting ready to like he's getting ready to like absorb his soul or whatever, and he opens up the Millennium Puzzle and starts absorbing all the souls in the tub, and then like getting ready to take Scooby's or whatever, while like Daphne's reached like the top of like the building, and she starts fighting that luchador the entire time, pulling off her best Buffy moves. They're about to get like
who's the baddest?
who's the prettiest. Jesus.
Who's the master?
I would have loved that.
Turns out it was Daphne the whole time. Who would have thought?
Daphne, you fought so well. Thank you, master. It was Bruce Leroy who was teaching her. As you know, he's about to absorb Scooby, so he's taking all those other souls. Shaggy breaks free and, like, stops him and knocks him over or whatever. Again, swinging off of this hook and smashing into somebody. This is the third time Shaggy's done it. And stops him from getting the soul. Scooby gets his soul back. And then Velma and Fred get free. And though Daphne's doing martial arts or something I didn't realize, Fred is also doing martial arts in this scene. Like, he grabs one of those hooks or whatever, and he's swinging it around like he's a ninja.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
super long nunchucks.
dude, exactly. Like, he's like, you could just say, like, it's not him just swinging and hitting people. Like, he's like putting between like his shoulders and his arms and his foot and like hitting people.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's like, okay, that's weird, but whatever.
He's a badass.
Yeah, he's just, oh god. I'm just remembering that in the second movie, he has like a knight fight with a knight.
We will not get to this second one. We're not doing this.
Pins.
Oh my god. I'm gonna lose my mind if we do another Scooby Doo movie.
They go, Velma and Fred, to check out Mondavarius. He's on the ground. He's like twitching or whatever, and like being weird.
He has like a cut in his neck.
Yeah. So like Fred's like, a mask. So he goes to rip off his mask to reveal who he is, and it's a robot. It's a robot face. You see a robot face. And then the Daemonitis gets absorbed under the skin. And
I don't know how this works. Whatever. Who cares? Unimportant.
Demon magic. Who cares? In a Scooby Doo movie. Yeah. Chest pops open, and it's Scrappy Doo. And he's like, puppy power. And he gets zapped, which I was very happy with. And he starts going off about like, I'm gonna, stop you, Mystery Inc., how could you? And as he's getting out, he's like growing incredibly like huge and big. Like, he grows to like 15 feet tall. Like,
he's big.
He's gigantic. And he starts attacking them, and he's trying to get his hands on Scooby Doo. And there's one that I didn't mention this earlier, but like when like Scooby gets called, they're like, it's for a Doo, and some dude's like, Melvin Doo? They're like, no, Scooby. And when like Scrappy's after him, Scooby's like, you mean Melvin Doo? It's like right next to him.
Good joke.
I laughed.
Because Melvin Doo is right there.
Exactly.
Whose last name is Doo, by the way?
Bro.
Bruh.
It definitely can't be spelled the same. Eventually he gets his hands on Scooby, but like, they get thrown, all seems lost or whatever, but like, Shaggy rips the Daemonitis out of like Scrappy's chest with that weird claw thing that they were used to pick souls.
Impressive.
Yeah. Daphne beats up the luchador and smashes him through like the skylight and drops like a disco ball in there, so...
Who's the damsel in distress now?
Me?
Yes.
Kicks his ass through that skylight. And then, like, they also knock over the pool of souls, so everyone gets their soul back and all the monsters start popping
That's all
out.
they had to do. They just had to knock it over.
They could have done it so many times.
Oh my god.
It's
They wouldn't have this whole army either.
Exactly. It's like, literally the second, like, they all point to you, you sprint for the pool of souls and you knock it over. But whatever. So all the, like, monsters, the demons get, like, murdered by sunlight, and, like
Like the dirty vampires that they are.
The dirty, disgusting vampire. Oh my goodness, dude, it's so funny. I just realized this. You wouldn't know this, but like this actually mirrors the final episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They've killed all the demons with sunlight. Scrappy Doo's been stopped or whatever. They've got it all together, and they're getting off the island. Well, I guess before this, like, Mary Jane thanks Shaggy for saving her life and stuff and everything like that. And
Fred goes up to Daphne, kisses her.
Makes no sense.
She's like, Fred, stop! And then, like, smirks at him. It's like, classic. Like,
it's classic.
you two are made for each other.
Literally.
You vain pricks.
Well, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's something you always assume, but they don't do anything with it in the movie, where it's like, they never say anything like, oh, you know, I, like, maybe one of them saying, I miss you or something, or like, they were, like, together at some point, or, you literally don't feel any attraction between them until literally that moment.
Nice.
Yeah, perfect. But, and then Velma gets her dude, random bar guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Who picks her up and, like, thanks her, and she punches him in the arm.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
What?
Don't know. And then,
Who is he? I don't know who this person is.
I don't
Is he named in the movie?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm not looking at his name. Shaggy gets Mary Jane or whatever, and then they go to like the what is the landing? Not the landing.
The landing, the dock.
The dock. Yeah, the dock for the island or whatever. Where like all the Coast Guard showed up, and the news crews for some reason on boats. Yep, and they're all like, "Oh, what happened, Mr. Ink? Who was the culprit? What happened?" And they're all looking at Fred, and Fred's about to go in on it. And he's like, actually...
Fred is like, oh yeah, it all started with my book, and then, you know, Velma's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, seriously?
Dude.
And then he stops, and he's like, maybe Velma should explain what happened.
Exactly. And, like, Velma's happy, you know, come full circle, she's being acknowledged or whatever. Fred's not as much of a dick, I guess.
I guess.
Daphne wasn't useless, and I guess Shaggy and Scooby, though they didn't want to be...
Daphne is the reason that they survive this whole thing.
Yes. She saves
Daphne
the day.
is the hero.
Oh, yes.
By far.
Well, yes. She's not really a damsel at any point besides when they're all possessed or whatever. Like, she is...
Also, Nacho Libre is dead.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he falls through there, and he lands on one of the spiked parts of that little well of souls. He's dead.
Yes.
They don't show that, though.
Well, dude, before the last scene, I was wondering if Skinhead was dead, because I was like, didn't see him. Was he possessed, or just in on it, or...
What happened to him?
They show it. We're about to get to it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they put Scrappy Doo into a helicopter, and you see...
With all these freaks.
Yeah, you see Nagoo in there, and handcuffed and everything, and he almost lets off. He's like, I would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for you meddling sons of... Like, he, like, curses, but they close the door. But, yeah, so...
Nice.
Yeah, Velma gets some recognition or whatever, and you see also in the scene that guy, that the bar guy is behind her or whatever, trying to, like, oh, yeah, she got this guy, I guess. And
who are you?
Exactly. And they end it with, like, the news being like, so what do you guys think about this other case? And Fred's like, whatever the case is, Mystery Inc.'s on the job. And then the movie
Nice, we're back together again.
Yeah, we're a team again. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, it's... But yeah, that's the end of Scooby Doo. Oh my god, that movie is... It's bad.
So it's bad. I love a lot of it, but it's terrible.
Yes.
Now, the second one is way worse, and I refuse to do it. I will not do it. It has Seth Green in it, right?
It does.
Fuck that. I'm not watching this movie. I refuse.
You hear that, listeners? If enough of you watch this and mention it, we might watch that movie.
Is that what you want, listeners? You want me to just be mad the whole time?
If you want Jack to be pissed, suggest that movie.
Oh my god.
I don't do that movie.
We've done enough Scooby-Doo. We did the best Scooby-Doo movie.
And the second worst.
And the second worst.
The second worst. Yeah, that...
I don't want to do the worst one.
Monsters Unleashed is fucking terrible.
Oh god.
It's... one of those movies, because, like, that movie only got made because this one was financially successful, even though it was terrible. James Gunn's original cut for the first Scooby-Doo movie got an R rating.
That would have been legit, though. If they would have just, like, parodied the whole thing, like...
Just gone for it?
Yeah, just went all in for it. That could have been a decent movie.
It could have been fun. You know,
it just came up with this weird thing that's for kids, but it's inappropriate for kids at the same time.
So that's the thing. Like, he wanted to do, like, an adult Scooby-Doo movie, which isn't a bad idea. You know, you could do, like, going for, like, all, like, the, like, theories and stuff and jokes and, like, just make a comedy about this, like, funny thing. But, like,
ooh, what if it's not actually just a man in the mask? What if it's real?
Hey, that's fine or whatever. It's not what Scooby Doo is, but hey, it's just having a director.
Amazingly, that's not what Zombie Island is either, but they do it way better.
They do it way better just because I think whoever wrote that knew what they were going for. James Gunn wanted to make like an adult MTV kind of like, 20-year-old Scooby Doo movie, and the studio was like, no, we need a children's movie. And he, literally all he did was like, alright, I'll just cut all the stuff that you don't want to put in it.
Why did you hire James Gunn then?
Dude, exactly. Like, it's like, why not hire fucking one of the people that made those animated movies? They literally made those movies, like, in the, 90s and early, before these movies. Like, just
these people still existed.
They were
right around the corner.
Exactly.
It was made in 2002.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
If you want to make a goddamn kids movie, hire one of them, but... Oh, goodness. Oh, God, no. That's enough of Scooby-Doo. That's enough. Let's... Recommendations and fucking ratings.
No. I do not recommend this movie. You've most likely seen this. If you're our age, you've seen this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Rewatch it. You'll have some good times. It's funny sometimes. It's terrible, though. It's a bad movie.
Yes. Rating?
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. Each time we go into these movies, I find a new movie that it makes me want to push back other times I've recommended or rated things. And this is one of those movies where I want to go down to 3 out of 10. And that makes me reconsider other movies. But I'm still going to go.
Amazing how that works.
Dude, when you just see something that's just so much worse. But
just wait. One day, we'll go back through all of our old ratings, and we'll re-rate them, and come to the exact same conclusions.
It's Bad Takes Rehash, where we rewatch an old movie and also listen to our old podcast.
And completely agree. We were right the whole time.
You guys,
especially me.
Nice.
God
damn it. But yeah, that's Scooby Doo. As always, there'll be a link on this podcast if you want to send in requests for anything. Heads up, I've gotten plenty of requests. We've gotten so many requests. They do know if you put in a request at this time, we will be doing your request in 3 months.
Is that for real?
I'm not shitting you, yes.
Oh my God.
We do 2 of these a month.
Oh God. Stop requesting things. And do not request Scooby-Doo 2. I refuse. I will not watch it. I won't do it. Recommend Scream 1. Fantastic movie. I have so much to say, and we can have fun with it.
Up next we have Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Finally.
Sharknado. The Nice Guys.
Good movie.
Paddington.
Never heard of it.
And Repo Man.
Who suggested Sharknado?
Tiffany.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yep, but those are all the listener requests that we've gotten so far. Goodness. So, yep. But yeah, if you want to send one in, just know it will be in 3 months. Heads up. Just saying that for people who are like, when are you going to do this movie? It's like, we're moving through them as soon as we can.
If you want us to do movies faster, tell people about our podcast. We start getting paid to do this, we'll do it more.
Exactly. Hey, yeah, you want us to get something faster? Fucking yeah. Spread the word. Follow, subscribe, share.
Spread the good word.
Spread the good word. We're also, we have a listener support on if you want to send us a few bucks.
Nice.
Hey.
When will that ever happen?
Dude.
But it's probably already happened and you'll never tell me.
See, bro, the funny thing is this and all of our previous podcasts will be monetized after I add those ads to them.
Oh, shit. We have to record those, don't we?
Yes, we got to record that.
Oh, God.
Yep. So that's coming next, listeners. But, hey, as always, I'm Chris.
I'm Jack.
And we're watching movies.
Sometimes.